Hello, people. I'd like to say hi to the most loyal people for any of these shows that we have right now going on. You guys, you know, we got kind of blasted yesterday. We were called a cult because I mentioned something about a cult. So here's what I'm going to do, people. I'm going to put up my email, and I'm making some t-shirts right now. On the front of the t-shirts, it's going to say hello, people. On the back, it's going to say our cult. And mods will get MODS in red on the front pocket. I'm going to write. Let me, so there's the information right there. So if you're interested in a t-shirt, let me know. I'm not going to make money off these t-shirts. It's going to be break even. I'll order the t-shirt first. Just put in your order. Let me know you want it. And then we'll do a nice one. So in the front, like I said, in the front, it's going to say hello, people. In the back, it's going to say our cult. Moderators will get MODS in red on the front pocket. And also, just so you remember, if you want to become a mod here, there's some people in here that are really good people. Let me know. And I'll check you out with my partner, and then we'll decide whether you should be a mod. I believe Amber Alert, I made you a mod today. So just the people that I've been watching and the people that have been very loyal, it's really appreciated. And when people say, "Oh, what are you guys doing over there? I can't believe you're over there. It's a cult," and all this silly stuff. The reason you're here is because everybody goes to people they like. It's that simple. If people like certain shows, there's many people that hate me, and there's many people that like me, and that goes for the other shows too. But because you have a royal name doesn't make you royal. And when you're going to attack me as a person, let's remember one thing. I do not come from a family that has killed people. I do not come from a family that has flooded the streets with drugs. I have not come from a family that has done horrible, horrible things. In my family, I'm the most horrible person. I have very good brothers and sisters. And tragedy, it's a shame when people lose people in your life. There's no doubt. And that goes for everybody. I've had a lot of loss in the last couple of years, and other people on these channels have had a lot of loss too. There's no doubt. But you cannot judge people. You cannot throw stones at people's houses if you live in a glass house. I know where I live. I know what my house is like. I know that I fucked up many times, and I'm not a good, and a lot of people will say Lee Cole's not a good person. But the things that they say about you on here and the myths they create. I had one moderator today that was sending, not moderator, I'm sorry, another content maker that was he was sending out letters to people, emails, saying, "Why are you friends with Lee Cole? He took money from somebody who gave me money, who donated money to my show." And they're mad because it was money taken away from them. I don't ask people for money. If people want to donate money to my show, that's up to them. I'm not going to come on here. My show is not about making money. Most of my money is made by commercials. That's why some people will say, "Lee, why do you have so many commercials?" Because that's how I make my money. Because I'm not on here begging you for money. And you guys know that. And yesterday, we all put up shows yesterday. Who had the most views? What show had the most views yesterday? So somebody's watching me. Right now, we have 104 people here in a couple minutes. So somebody's watching this show. People like this show. Grant Calder. Grant Calder comes into these rooms. He basically is a fan and he's treated like he's some kind of Nazi. He's treated like he's some kind of killer. The attacks on Grant Coulter are unbelievable. Just think about it every damn day. And none of us really know who Grant Coulter is. We act like he's the most horrible person in the world. We know nothing about him. He might be home, being a great guy. Who knows? Maybe he's not. And as for taking care, people say, okay, well, I have animals. I take care of it. People have seen Polly here, my dog. I have 2 dogs. I love my dogs. I take care of my dogs. That's it. It doesn't make you a better person. But it's like I said, if you live in a house full of glass, don't toss stones, because then you're not going to like the reaction. You guys see the attacks that have been on this show on me. I mean, they're some of the worst attacks ever. I don't have a car. I wear the same T-shirt every day. I'm an opiate addict. All these horrible things. My son hates me. I steal my son's Social Security card, and I have a YouTube station using his Social Security number. People, that's a crime. If I took my son's Social Security number and got on YouTube and used it, YouTube would know right away, and I would be arrested. It's that simple. And these are the things that are said. And now another thing, Gene Barillo. Yesterday I heard that Gene Barillo was nothing in the streets. He was a wannabe gangster. And this ain't defending Gene Barillo, but I want to ask you guys one thing. Gene Barillo testified, and I think it's wrong what he did, but he testified against Vinny Asaro and Ronnie G, 2 very powerful members of the Bonanno family. And they both got sentenced to prison for a long time. So I don't understand. Make up your mind. If Gene Barillo could testify against the head of the family and they go to prison, how is Gene Barillo just a guy in the streets? He's just a guy in the streets that decided he was going to testify, but he knows nothing about these guys? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And yes, Gene Barillo testified. A lot of people will call Gene Barillo a rat. There's no doubt. And I'm not defending him for what he did, but I will defend him when you say that he was a wannabe gangster. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And people will say that Jimmy Calandra's a gangster, but Gene Barillo's not. It makes no sense. It's obvious that Gene Barillo knew a lot of people in the street and hung out with them. Jimmy Calandra knew a lot of people in the street and hung out with them. That's what it comes down to. And I am totally against the snitching that he did. I'm not for it. And John Gotti said it best. When you enter this life, you got to know where it's going. It's John Gotti used to say, why should I save money? Because gangsters either get killed or go to prison for life. So that was John Gotti's feelings. John Gotti always knew that prison was going to be the answer. And unfortunately, these young guys we have now in this generation, it's easy for them to turn evidence. The FBI loves it. And the FBI will tell people, they will say that people are gangsters, people are rats. A lot of times people aren't rats. But the FBI can make up anything they want on anybody. They can come out and say it about me. They can say it about any of you guys in the chat. They can make us look like the biggest rats in the world, and there's nothing we can do about it. So, let's think about that. And I said yesterday, don't mention my name. I don't mention your name. But of course, my name was mentioned. And once again, I'm going to say it again. Don't mention my name. I won't mention yours. You know, this ain't the boo-hoo party because you're a woman. It's like I said, you're tougher than any of these guys in here. By far. People can say what they want, but that is one tough woman. There's no doubt about that. And I'm sure she gets that from her father. If anybody's like her father, it's her. She don't back down. She says what she wants to say. She'll keep coming at me. She's more of a challenge than any of these dudes here, guys. Without a doubt. But I have 7 sisters. 7. A couple of them have passed away, but I grew up around women. I had 3 ex-wives. So it's obvious that I don't give a shit if you're a woman or a guy. You get treated equal. That's all there is to it. But I'm not going to attack a woman for no reason. But if you're going to be part of this, if you're going to be on here and be part of this, then we're all equal. It's like this other podcaster that brings his wife on. And do you guys notice I don't use their names? And here's the difference. I don't use their names because what that does is puts them in the algorithm. But if you go on their shows, that's all they do is use my name. It's like from the beginning to the end of the show. And then their chat rooms. It's like their chat rooms are possessed with me. Obsessed. Possessed. They're obsessed with me. And I keep saying, they keep putting my name in a chat room. Lee Cole's a piece of shit. Fuck Lee Cole. You know, and I don't care being called names. I really don't. But when you start going after my family, and I'm talking about the people that are totally off of this. You know, it's like I said, there's this one guy going around today writing letters. And one of the guys in this chat room got one of these letters, one of these emails. You had to read this thing. The shit that he said in this thing was like pure evil. It looked like it came from a person that was like totally evil. And he was telling him how horrible of a human being I am and what a piece of shit I am. And that I was withdrawing from drugs. People look at me. Do I look like I'm withdrawing from drugs? I'm probably withdrawing from pizza. If I took as many drugs as they said, I'd be feeling really good right now. Grant, fucking stupid, ghost hunting retard, effing hypocrisy over there, unbelievable. They know, yeah, Lee and Lee's deliverance video. Yeah, let's talk about that. How about the deliverance video they made? You know, that was funny. A matter of fact, when that clown was playing that video, who was in the chat room watching it? See, hypocrites. It's incredible. So then you're going to have people say, oh my God, he's attacking women. Give me a break. Do you guys hear me attacking women? I'm arguing with a content maker. I don't give a hoot if they are a woman or if they're a man. I don't care. If you guys see there's like a certain sect of people coming at me and they're all doing it together, but you know what? It's not working, people. They're trying to take me. They've been trying to take me down for 6-7 months now. Think about the things they did to me and the horrible stuff that used to come on. They brought my son on. And I'm still here. And my numbers are just as good as theirs. So maybe they should just say, let's leave Lee alone. I'll give you an example. You know what I was doing today? I already did an interview with a pretty big person. And I'm setting up another interview today. You know where that person was today? My partner took them out for a cigar and for a nice dinner. And then they're going to do a beautiful interview on Friday. See, so I'm working. I'm not just going to these people saying, will you do an interview with me? You know, you have to give people something. I don't have money to give them, but we can take them out for dinner. We can take them out to a cigar place. And that's what we're doing. And no, it's not Tom. Tom has his own thing. And people say right away, it's cigars. It's Tom. Nope, not Tom. And you guys will see who the interview is going to be with. And the guys I'm interviewing aren't like some shits. They're serious guys. And you're going to see a slew of interviews come out now. And when I drop it, you're not going to know. It's just going to be dropped. And how I'm going to drop them is I'm going to do premieres. I'll premiere them, and this way you guys can be in the chat room while they're premiering. And I'm going to do that with one this week, one or two next week. Okay, listen, I'm going to drop the link. If I seen Sean here before. I like Sean. Sean, if you want to come in, you're more than welcome. Hey, Grant, you may want to, I don't know if you want to come in. You can come in without showing your face, you know, you could talk. If you're interested in coming in and talking about what you think without cursing and swearing, you're more than welcome. Okay. People have been asking me what I think about this Ukraine thing with Russia. You got to remember, I actually had a wife from the Ukraine and Russian. I used to say Russian, but she was from Ukraine, different country. I believe that we should mind our business and not get involved because it's the worst thing we could do. We shouldn't have our soldiers die on the battlefields over in Russia. And you got to remember too, Nunchuck, I don't know who you are. So come in here with a face or something. You're kicked out of the studio right now, dude. It's not going to happen. I believe that we shouldn't get involved into Ukraine. Do you realize when the Ukraine leaders took over, they put all the oppositions in prison for running against them? And that's in the Ukraine. So people, don't believe about the Ukraine being some great government. It's no different than the Russians. It's none of our business. That's like us having a war with Texas. Say, I'm from Texas. Say Texas decided they wanted to secede from the country. So if Texas leaves, that would be like Russia coming to the United States and fighting Texas. What right do we have to go to Ukraine and fight the Russians? We know what it's about. It's about they left all our weapons behind in Afghanistan, and now they need to replace them. So these companies need money now. So what do they want to do? They want to start a war. They want to have our young men die in Russia, in Ukraine, and they want to sell lots of weapons. And that's what this is all about, buying weapons. That's what Afghanistan was about. That's just how this has always been. I'm going to bring a couple people on. First of all, I'm going to bring on one of the most handsome men around. No, Sean, it's not you. I'm sorry. Sean's smiling, and you think it's going to be him. It's Bay Eighth. Bay Eighth.
Salute, mobtubers.
That wasn't Bay Eighth. At least he was respectful, Sean, huh?
Yeah. How are you?
Good. How you been doing?
Good. Just working.
So what do you think about, should we go to war in Ukraine?
No.
Isn't it ridiculous?
Yeah.
And they brainwash us and they want to make it think it's a good thing for us to go to war and kill our soldiers in Ukraine. It's amazing.
Well, we got to worry about maybe a cyber attack or something because the sanctions are going to hurt, if they keep escalating them.
You know, they got people that have been going up this staircase in Washington up until the White House, and they've been getting hit by sonic rays, and it's been damaging their brains. Did you see that thing on 60 Minutes? These people that have been hit with that?
Uh-uh.
It's scary. So we have somebody doing attacks right in our country right now, hitting people in the head and fucking up their brains for life.
Oh, wow.
So just think about that. That's the kind of weapons they got now. They can do that to anybody. That means that's probably what happened to Joe Biden. It probably hit Joe Biden in the head.
That's some serious stuff. That's serious stuff.
So what they probably did with Joe Biden is they shot him in that, where they went out his head with that ray, and nothing happened. You know, so, but they're shooting this thing near the White House. That's scary when you think about it.
Right.
You know, this weapon. I mean, that's where our leaders are. Okay, Biden cares more about the Russian border than the American border.
Exactly.
Yes, he is a traitor, people. And you know what? We're not going to get too political, but this is about something that's going to happen in our country right now. We have two things going on. We have truckers being treated like criminals. The truckers who are the heart and soul of this country and Canada. Here, the truckers are going to start supporting them. It's only a matter of time. Do you think that we would allow our government to do to our truckers what Canada's doing to their truckers right now? The Russians have Trober cyber horses all in the computers in the U.S. They will shut the U.S. down without even firing. You know something? But we'll do that to them too. That's a scary thing. We could all shut each other down. We could shut down China. China could shut us down. Everybody could shut everybody down, people. And it's only a matter of time.
Back to the Stone Age.
German people's energy bills are about to go sky high due to suspended Russian gas. They're going to Germany to protest on the streets. Yep. But look with us. I went and filled my tank up today. It cost me $50.
Wow.
$50.
Yeah, $20 doesn't even get me 4 gallons of gas.
Yeah. Well, you're in California, which is worse yet. Yeah. I mean, literally, I have a 300. They have pretty big tanks, but usually it costs me about $38 to $40. Today it was $50. And I'm like, holy shit.
You have the V6 or the V8?
The one I have, the one I have has the bucket seats, heated. It's like one of the classic models. It's a fantastic car. Best car I ever had.
Right.
It's never given me any issues. The car is a 2005. It's in mint condition. I'm lucky to have it. I bought it for a couple $1,000s a few years ago. Never had no issues.
It has the Hemi in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am unaware of the other criminal that happened here up there at the moment. Clearly upset the lady. And you did apologize that day. I have apologized so many times. I apologize. I can't apologize no more. I'm done apologizing. It's like, come on. And then you hear Jimmy Calandra apologize. People, if you go back 2 years and put Jimmy Calandra in Google, he said the most horrible things about the Gotti family. But now he's forgiven. He said things 20 times worse about the Gotti family than I ever have said. You have never heard me say anything negative about John Gotti. Never. But Jimmy Calandra, it's okay because he apologized. It makes no sense. I mean, the stuff that Jimmy Calandra said about the Gottis was so brutal. I mean, you could literally go on Google and find stuff where he said that you wouldn't. And don't get me wrong, the shit they said about Jimmy Calandra was wrong too. So Jimmy Calandra was defending himself. But he said some really bad shit about them. But he's forgiven. But me, how many fucking times are we going to hear about I talked about this, the little boy getting killed? How many times do I have to apologize? I even took the video down. I'm done apologizing on that. And no, I'm not going to apologize about anything else. Apologies. This is the mob genre. This ain't the pussy genre that we're supposed to run around and apologizing. The shit they've said about my brother here, Are you kidding me?
Right. Yeah.
Shit. It's unbelievable some of the shit they say.
It's no holds bar.
Yeah. And I don't want it like that. It's just like, just stop talking about me. I'll stop talking about you. But
Right.
no, she'll do a follow-up show and she'll keep it going. And I'm not going to take no shit from her.
Well, if you notice, a lot of people's been getting a lot of content from the show.
I never thought I'd be someplace where a lot of people get a lot of content from my name. You'll hear FBS go, oh, they all want me. No, it's not. You're not the one, FBS. You're the one for your last 5 or 6 shows. My name's in your label. Look at my shows. I don't see no FBS in my labels anywhere.
Well, your show's moving forward, so and then you're going to get a lot of publicity from the other people, the other guys, because they're seeing your numbers. I'm telling you, Lee, watch, you're going to be doing great, man.
I got 170 people in here right now.
That's great.
And you know what's funny? I went to these shows last night that were saying horrible shit about me, and nobody from my show is in those shows.
Really?
So they can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
Maybe Finn Creek, maybe, a couple guys, but they're not saying anything bad. Or some people just don't say anything. Like I watch Angel's show and I don't say anything. Because can you imagine me saying something? Everybody would say, start calling me names and shit.
Yeah, like on The Simpsons, everybody's trying to get Homer with the pitchforks. Just
Here's Mickey Griggs. Now, Mickey Griggs, he plays all sides of everything. But Mickey Griggs, he's on my, he'll say a lot of negative things about me. But he's on my Twitter page. He'll come in here, make some, I have no problem with Mickey. Because Mickey, he's upfront about it. He doesn't do shit behind my back. But see, Mickey, if one of my guys went into FBS's room and did this, even talked, they would be, Carlos would pull out the wrench whore. That's what he is, the wrench whore. The wrench whore would eliminate you. Finn Creek, oh, yours is an 09, mine's an 05. And back then, those were the best cars on the road. Those cars, you remember when the 300s first came out?
Oh, yeah, they're nice.
I remember looking at them. I never thought I would see the day I'd have one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like for the Hemi, it was like 50, 55, 60 grand.
They really did damage on Cadillac sales, and they hurt the Lincoln sale, the Lincoln Continentals and stuff. Really took a beating because of the 300.
Yeah.
But you got to get the 300 with mine has the bucket heated seats, and it has the sunroof, and it which opens. I'm going to read some of these. Harvest of the Sow. The Russians are inside our computers, have been a couple of years waiting for the right moment to cripple our infrastructure. Yeah, they have. And you know something, but the person we have protecting this country right now, it's pretty scary. I don't even think we have anybody protecting this country right now. Yeah, I did apologize, but now I see them over in FBS. She's forever trying to give someone or a telling off for something. Yep. And then what did she say yesterday? She said that nobody better call her brother John Jr. a rat. Why? What gives her the right to tell us we can't talk about Junior? I don't get that one.
Well, I mean, the other creators got to realize that anything could be said. I mean, it's YouTube.
It's YouTube. It is YouTube. And if you want to talk about my brother Tom, go right ahead. Okay. So what are you going to say wrong about my brother Tom? He committed suicide. He worked for a corporation that let child molesters in. That this corporation molested over 100 children. And then you'll hear, oh, well, we'll bring Linda McMahon on. Bring her on. You think I care?
Right.
Linda McMahon's the head of a company that was molesting children. The executives were bringing children in and molesting these kids. And Linda McMahon and Vince McMahon covered it up. So if you want to bring Linda McMahon on, who did this, you go right ahead. That doesn't bother me. Linda McMahon's been saying shit about me for 30 years. It ain't going to stop. And if you guys don't believe me, just go Google my name, Linda McMahon Lee Cole. She goes after me quite hard.
Have you met them in person, Lee? What?
3 days.
You have?
I sat down with Vince McMahon for 3 days at Titan Towers during negotiations.
Really?
Oh yeah, I know him real well.
Wow.
Yeah. I actually was in his office when it was just me and him in his office. And it was during negotiations. My brother Tom was in Linda McMahon's office. And they took us out for dinner that night. I drove with Vince McMahon. My brother Tom drove with Linda McMahon. When we got to the restaurant, it was closed down.
Oh, wow.
During dinner, they closed the whole restaurant down. So it was just me, my brother, Linda McMahon, and Vince McMahon at the restaurant.
And they have security and all that?
Back then, no. 92, not really, no.
Okay.
They weren't nearly as rich as they are now.
Okay.
They became rich when they put their company on the stock market, when they went
public.
As soon as they went public, the WWF. But now Vince McMahon, from what I understand, has dementia. That's why you haven't been seeing him around that much.
I have a question for you. Remember the football league that didn't do good, and then he was trying to bring it back?
Yeah.
And then there was big talk of him bringing it back, and then COVID hit. They're going to roll out a season and everything.
Yeah, he's not capable no more. They don't
really.
They don't want to do. His wife doesn't want that done. You can't go up against the NFL.
Yeah, it's a big league.
Anybody. Vince McMahon's a billionaire, but the NFL has 30 billionaires.
Right.
So how are they going to do it?
Right.
Angelgotti is whiny. Well, I'm not going to read that, but whatever you feel. Lee, can't you humor them with more very clear? No, I've made apologies very clear, Jack. No more clear apologies. No apologies coming from me at all. That's it. I gave my apology when it came to the young man, and that's it. I'm not going to apologize to adults. They can apologize to me. How about that?
Did you do the Sixes video yet?
Did
you do the no?
It's been cold as hell. Today it's 20 degrees. I want to go up there when they have the horses out, and they at the 6-6 ranch they have a horse barn.
Okay.
And the horses there are worth a lot of money, and I just want to see how they do it all. They stud them. I mean, to be at the horse at the 666 is like a dream for a male horse. He's going there to fuck the rest of his life. That's what he's going there for. Joe Riggs, there's a lot of Andre the Giant stories. I don't know which one you're talking about, but Andre was some character. I did a video on Andre the Giant on my son's channel. I interviewed his best friend. It was a really good interview. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You hit it right on the button. But he's already said he's about the money. That's all he cares about. Donations. He doesn't care. He doesn't come on these shows to do it for, the love of doing it. If he's not making money, what does he do? He shuts his show down. I've gotten no donations today.
And that ruins the creative side of a show if you're concerned about finances.
Yeah, and I don't consider this show today creative because I'm not talking about something. But this is just pretty much talking about what was said last night. What they're trying to do is embarrass me and push me in a corner where I put my tail between my legs and run. That doesn't happen. It's not going to happen. So you can come at me every day if you want. You could talk. You could threaten. You could say you're going to get Linda McMahon and interview her. I'll give you her phone number if you need it, because that's just publicity. You go right ahead.
If they put your name on the headline of their videos, does that put you in an algorithm? How does that work?
Yesterday I was in the algorithm big time.
Really?
Oh yeah, because all they're doing is putting my name in the algorithm with the Gotti name. Like
And
my
that's
name,
good for you, right? That's
oh
good.
hell yeah. My name's already in the algorithm with Gravano's name. If you go to Gravano and look at his videos, you'll see a bunch of my videos in between his videos.
Right.
And I got some really good interviews lined up. And the people that see this, you know, and one thing I talked about too, if we know that someone's doing an interview, we shouldn't go after, people do shitty things like trying to hurt the person's interview.
Mm-hmm.
If people do that to FBS, then his people are going to do it to me. It's that simple. So that's what, tit for tat. It's stupid. If he has an interview, just leave him alone and let him have the damn interview.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I say. Lee Cole, you're in a genre where the murderer and extortionist is an honorable guy. Good, hardworking, honest people had just heard. Look who you're talking to at heart. Do you know that they made remarks that I do not? I worked my whole life in the restaurant industry. I built restaurants from the bottom up. And I'm going to tell you one thing. If you working in the restaurant is one of the hardest jobs there is. I worked most of my job 60 hours a week, six days, 60 hours a week. I started working when I was 16, 17 years old in Times Square in a pizza place, and I never stopped working. Did I commit crimes during this time? Unfortunately, yes, I did. But I always worked. And when I never dealt drugs on the street. I never dealt drugs to children. I don't brag about being a drug dealer. I don't brag about having DUIs. Never had a DUI. Never. Because I was never stupid enough to get in a car drunk. And it's a stupid move. If you're drunk and it's like I said, if people do it one time, it's one time. But if you do it twice, shame on you.
That's true.
Yeah. People leave bars sometimes, don't realize how drunk they are the first time. But to tell that to the person you kill.
See, too, Lee, I was gonna bring this up. People look at like you, right? They Lee Cole behind a computer, but they don't have no inkling of what your life's been. Or me, right? They think, oh, he's just some person that works in the restaurant. That's far from the truth.
Yep.
We're more from this. People couldn't even fathom the struggles that we've been through to make it to this point in our life.
Yeah, and you hear the remarks that I live in public housing, I'm on welfare, I have food stamps.
Horrible things.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. I live by myself. I do not live in a woman's house. I do not live with my mother or father. I take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just went out and paid some bills myself. I'm a man. So I don't have to move in with a woman to survive. I don't need to move in or stay with my parents to survive when I'm 40 years old. God, can you imagine these 40-year-old people living with their parents and they're fucking insulting people?
Midlife crisis. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing. You don't know who people are on YouTube, and it's scary. I mean, it could be 3 o'clock, some guy in his pajamas, no life, plays computer all day.
Yeah, and you're right. We don't know anything. One thing I know about you, Sean, is you already told me you're a restaurant man. Right away, I know you work hard.
And before that, I worked construction for 10 years with my stepdad. So I hurt my back, and that's why I'm working in the restaurant industry.
And you know what I did for 5 years? Believe it or not, I put in floors down in Florida.
Oh, that's great.
So, I worked cutting down trees. I'm a fat old man now, but I was in great shape when I was in my 30s and 40s.
Right.
I kind of went to hell when I hit my 50s, but there was a time that I took good care of myself, and I had really tough jobs, but I loved the work. And they hear these bums, and that's what they are. They're bums. Tell you that you don't work and shit. I don't live off people's names. I got my own fucking name.
You would climb up the trees, Lee? How would you do it?
Climb up the trees.
Oh, that's dangerous stuff. They do it up here on the mountain, boy.
I just a couple years ago, I lost a friend. It was his company. He had a tree climbing business in Peekskill, New York,
Wow.
and he hit the wire with his. And he had two beautiful kids, and he was married, and he was in his 30s, and he hit the wire with his chainsaw.
Oh shit.
And you know what happened there? It, I mean, he was burnt to a crisp in the bucket. Yeah, I've known some people that were hurt really bad cutting down trees. I've had a couple close calls myself. I mean, you sometimes you just don't know which way they're going to fall, which way a branch is going to come out of a tree. You might be guiding it and stuff, but that doesn't mean anything. It
Yeah,
just
because we have some big oak trees, big trees up here, and by the time they climb up all the way to the top, you're already fatigued, and then you got to get the chainsaw going, and then you got to do everything right, and then chop it down, pieces by pieces.
Yep. And it's like, I'll tell you, give you an example. I was a broiler cook. I specialize in broiler, and I worked in very busy places. Now, you know how busy broilers are.
Oh yeah.
You're cooking fish, you're cooking steak in the broilers and stuff. And to be a broiler cook, it's a gift. There's very few broiler cooks that are good. People could say, "Oh, I can go stand by the broiler," but then when you, like on Mother's Day, when you have 1,000 orders, all of a sudden you're like, "Holy shit!" I've worked on Mother's Day sometimes where I wanted to cry and just go home. You ever get so busy you're like, "Holy shit, I can't stand it." It feels like it's never going to end.
Well, with wearing the mask, sometimes I think I'm just going to go down, man down. I'm just.
You're in California. I would never work under those circumstances with a mask. I couldn't. I mean, I just can't imagine what it's like.
Yeah, you're breathing in your own emissions. It's just not good. It's not.
And do your waitresses hate your cooks?
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yep. I very rarely dated any of my waitresses because we hated each other so badly.
Oh, I mean, you see the waiters and waitresses sometimes will kind of bribe the cooks to have them cook what they want to get it out fast. Here's a little 20.
Hey, when I was working in Yorktown Heights, I worked in this. I don't know if you're familiar with New York, but there's a place called Yorktown Heights, nice little town.
Yeah.
I worked at this place called Grandma's Pies, very busy place, and this beautiful young girl. She was a high schooler, about 17 years old. And the Spanish guys, the Guatemalans, would talk real dirty to this girl. And then one of them told her in Spanish one day that they wanted to eat her pussy.
Oh, whoa.
And so she walks up to me and she says, "What did he just say to me?" And I said, he said he wants to eat your pussy. And she's 17 years old. And she leaves. And then a couple minutes later, I see this big guy come through the back door. And he pulls up on a motorcycle. He's bald with a ponytail hanging straight down. He goes by the sink, this dishwasher, grabs this Guatemalan, takes him outside and gives him one of the most horrific beatings ever. And I remember after that, because after it was his daughter. It was the guy's daughter.
Oh, wow.
And so this guy always said horrible, dirty things to the waitresses. And so what happened, we teased the shit out of him for the next month because it took him a month to heal. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen someone get beat so bad that it takes them a month to heal. He had 2 black eyes, but he was an illegal alien. So there wasn't a damn thing that he could do back then. But I'll never forget the beating that guy got. And I remember telling him, I said, you don't talk to, you don't know who, when you talk to these women, you don't know who their boyfriend is. You don't know who their father is. And that was just a really bad experience. But
I treat everybody the same. I treat everybody the same and with respect because you don't know them.
Okay, Mickey Riggs, I will forgive you if you humble yourself, Lee, and apologize. Jack, why are you so worried about apologies, Jack? Maybe you should apologize for asking us to apologize. She would rather be. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not. We pledged to defend Ukraine when they agreed to give up their nukes after the user. Yeah, thinskins. The problem was when Ukraine won the last election, they put everybody that was running against them in prison. And these people are still in prison. So we're going to go defend another country where they lock up people from elections that ran against them. So that's what we did with Saddam Hussein. We went and defended Saddam Hussein. We should have just left Saddam Hussein alone because Saddam Hussein knew how to run his country. Whether you like Saddam Hussein or not, Iraq and Iran was scared shit of Saddam Hussein. His people were scared of him, and he ran with an iron fist. So what did
Iron
we do?
fist.
And we killed the man that was holding everything together there. That's the United States. You know, it's unbelievable. We created that whole mess, and I've had children there fighting, and believe me, they always talked about it. Angel Gotti is a nice person. She is not the problem. Everyone has to have a bad guy. Excuse me, no, Mickey. According to her, I'm the bad guy. I didn't say Angel Gotti's a bad person. A matter of fact, I said she's the toughest I said she's tougher than any of these guys on here. Did I not say that, Mickey? Okay, so no one gets a free pass coming at me, and I'm going to forget about it. Nobody gets a free pass. You know. Hopefully she forgets about it and we put this to rest. So
No, she's got a show to run. Wish her the best, you know?
Yeah. And her show, and I used to love her show before all of a sudden one day she woke up and decided that I'm going to go back to attacking people.
Mm.
I don't want to attack people.
Right.
I'd rather just talk about, my show does much better when I'm talking about mafia stuff. And we're putting mafia stuff up here.
Exactly.
It does a lot better. When she had Vinny Pazianza on the other day, it was fantastic. I mean, that guy is like an amazing man. Everything he's been through to break his neck, to come back and win the title like that. I mean, the guy was a real warrior. That is great stuff. But talking about Lee Cole's not great stuff. People don't give a shit about me. I'm just a 61-year-old man. That's it. But I have the gift of gab. My father always told me that. So you can come at me, but I'm going to gab.
Were you tight with your dad? You were tight with your dad?
My dad lived with me when he died.
Oh, wow.
For the last 3 years of his life, I was taking care of him.
That's great.
People don't know about me,
Right.
They make it sound like, I was this evil dude running around doing all these bad things. No, I spent, my father lived with me from 1992 to 1995. He died in 1995. But the last 3 years of my life, and my father died on my birthday too.
Oh, wow.
And he's buried in New York at Nassau Knolls. And it's a cemetery there. My whole family's buried there. You guys will hear all the time that he's not from New York. He doesn't have an accent. I'm from New York more than any of these people. I am a real New Yorker. My family's been in New York since the early 1900s. My mother's side of the families has been in Beacon and Poughkeepsie, that whole area, for 160 years. And most of my family still lives in New York. And our family plots in New York. And they think, oh, what did that clown call me the other day? He said I was a hillbilly from Texas. I live in Texas. I'm not from Texas. I'm from New York.
Assumptions at the end of the day. That's the funny part.
Yeah. You know what it is? They don't want to admit it. They want to act like I don't know shit about New York. And the guys saying it to me aren't even from New York. They don't know shit about New York. They've never been in the streets of New York. Nothing. But yet they'll say shit that is like so far out there. I worked for Scaturo Supermarket in the Meat Cutters Union in Brooklyn. It's that fucking simple. I lived in I lived in Sheepshead Bay. I lived in Astoria, Queens. And then these fucking clowns, and that's what they are, they're clowns, will say, oh, he doesn't know nothing about New York. He's lying. You dumb fucks. I'm lying. Don't you see I have the attitude of a New Yorker? You keep trying to make me go away and I won't. That's just part of being from New York. You
Well,
guys can
that's a great thing too. You have control of your own show. The only one that can make that decision is you, right?
I didn't want to come on here popping this shit today, but what? They get a free fucking pass? They don't get a free pass at me. They don't. And a lot of these guys are scared to stick up for themselves. I'm not going to talk about these other content creators, which you know who you are, but you won't stick up for yourself. You'll let people say horrible shit about you and you won't stick up for yourself. You go out and try to become their friends again. And these guys are from New York. What happened to the New York man?
Like their friendships mean anything based on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, they mean nothing. They're taking your dignity away.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. There was a time that you could never get in a New Yorker's face. But New Yorkers, it's a whole new thing now. The New Yorkers got so fucking liberal. They're such pussies now. And they used to be some of the toughest guys going.
Let me ask you a question. Why'd you hit me in the face, as they're walking by?
Yeah, exactly. Why did you hit me in the face? There was a time when Brooklyn was the toughest area around. I mean, Brooklyn was Brooklyn. Not anymore. Now you have people from Brooklyn trying to be fucking this guy's in the car, his friend, after he said horrible shit about him. Why? I'd rather be dead than let people abuse me. It's that simple.
Yeah, if anything, we still have our dignity in life because we're hardworking people. At the end of the day, I can't let people talk to me like that at work, or I work hard. It's like I'm a human being,
Yeah.
I have feelings too, you know what I mean?
Well, you're from California. You guys are very sensitive out there. You guys are willing to let them jack the gas up out there to $6 a gallon.
I'll pay it.
Yeah, it's like okay, I'll pay it. Then you have creeps like Chicago Muscle, MTR, FPS, all simping hard for the snake munch, rat lovers, and hypocrites. I'm gonna be straight with MTR, and I got into it a couple weeks ago, and we talked, and we put it to the side. So I don't mind putting it to the side with MTR. I'll be totally honest with you, because at least he talked to me about it and we worked it out. He didn't ask me for no apologies. I mean, and he gets abused online. I mean, come on, guys. He gets abused. Matter of fact, he was talking about it last night. Some of the shit that he has to go through, I mean, it's pretty vicious. So he's still here too. Yeah, I noticed this, Redzilla. He sure is. Too many tribes being made. Most people here are here to be just entertained. That would be the best thing to do. We should all go back to our entertaining. There's some people that cannot do these shows without attacking people. We don't need to say who they are. We know who they are. But Angel Gotti doesn't have to attack people because she has a fascinating life. I don't really have to attack people because I've had a long life and a lot of interesting things in my life. We have a book coming out soon. I mean, so we got several things going on.
That's great.
Yeah, it's in production right now. So, but we're not going to talk about it until it hits the shelf. Creepy Carlos only blocks you if you're male. Yeah, I tell you, do you see when he starts, whenever a woman comes in, he starts sending them flowers and stuff. You know what the funny thing is? The woman is probably some guy that looks like me that's sitting in a chair at home naked. And Carlos is sending him flowers. $5.80 for a gallon to get, something? How you guys can have Trudeau in office in Canada is beyond me. The guy is so unqualified. I mean, there's a chance that he doesn't even know who his father is. His mother was like the biggest hoe going. I don't know if you remember his mother, but she was something. And
Wow.
you know, and the father would be turning in his grave if he's seen what his son's doing now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You won't say who you're interviewing, and you say others should promote who they are having on. John Morris, I'm not going to say who I'm interviewing until it's 100% locked up.
Lee, my phone's about to die. Thank you for having me on today,
No
buddy.
problem. You take care of yourself.
You too. God bless you, man.
Likewise.
Okay. See you next time.
Take care, brother.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, I'm going to put an invite down here if anybody wants to jump up. You don't have to. What was it said that I can't do this myself? I need to be talking to somebody. I think you guys know better than that. My first car was a 63 push button tranny. It was oh yeah. You know, my first car was a Cadillac, and it was a 1967 Cadillac, and it had those wings on the back. And I remember I went on the Taconic Parkway with it in New York. And if you guys remember the Sawmill River, the Taconic Parkway, the lanes were very small back then. I think they widened them since then. And I remember being so scared taking that Cadillac and trying to drive down the Taconic Parkway. I mean, where's the vitriol coming from here today? Angel Gotti. Okay. Tony Pizza was banned for 90 days. My uncle works at YouTube. Well, he has another channel, I thought, right now. Okay. John Wayne taught Lee to ride a horse. Yippee-ki-yay. Yeah. Did you guys ever see Stir Crazy with John Candy? No, it wasn't Stir Crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. What movie was it where he was? It was one of John Candy's first movies. It was a military movie. And John Candy was running toward a horse, and he was about to jump on the horse, and the horse took off. It was, if you, who else was in that movie? Murray was in that movie. There was a couple other people. Stripes. But I remember that's what a horse would do if I was running at it. It would take off. Bob Miller, yes, the racist comments on him down as he confirmed with the executives Google. Well, that's good. He should be banned a lot longer than that. He should be permanently banned. Jeff's wig, check it out. Poor Jeff. That's another guy that gets abused. Jeff. David shares her opinions. Others are doing the same with her. Yep. David Cameron, I know a lot of her fans are mad because her mods are blocking them over personal feelings they have. I got to see your face, highlight. David Cameron, I know a lot of her fans are mad because her mods are blocking them personal feelings. Yeah, they are blocking them, but it's not her blocking them, it's the mods. Where was my video yesterday, Chicago? Say Wolf Tickets, Chicago Muscle, give us. Hey, listen, with all the shit, Grant, that Chicago Muscle says, we still allow him on the show. You know, he'll come in with another name and stuff. And we're just trying, Chicago, we're trying to help you. We're trying to guide you in the right direction. We're trying to get you away from the dark side. So you're welcome here, Chicago. But if you feel good doing videos on me, John Wolf likes doing them, so you can continue doing them. Is that really you?
Salute, mobtube.
That's not highlight. Salute, Mob. That guy came in before, people. I would love for Highlight to come in. Highlight's got to be a little bit upset with me, I think, because we were talking about what he was talking about. I would love to talk to him about it. You're going to keep fighting a good fight. Lee, are you going to apologize to Angel so she doesn't sue you? Okay, here's the thing. No, I'm not going to, because I have no reason to. I already did it. And please sue me. I know all about lawsuits. Okay, it's not a lawsuit. She's suing Gene Barillo. That lawsuit's being done right now. I've done nothing where I could be sued. Nothing. A lawsuit is when you say something that's not true. Dana Smith and I was talking about Paps, but hey, can say the same about Snake. Okay, well, listen, they can all talk. They'll be talking tonight. We gave them something to talk about tonight. 183 people here. Let them talk about that. Middle of the day, 183 people here. Let them talk. Somebody likes the show. Angel Gotti trolls are from her own camp. Also, people she thinks are friends are playing her. Yeah. We all have people that come in our chats that can't stand us, and they come at us. We do. But here we're pretty good because the mods are really good. They control everything here pretty good. But they do get in there. Dana has me blocked because I was very unpolitically correct thing. I could, well, you know, that's the thing though. You know, Angel's a big Trump person. So I can't understand, you know, if you're a Trump person, why would you deal with someone that hates Trump? Actually, it's the Chinese that's in our computers. They are creators of every yo. You know, the number one thing the Chinese are in control of are our drugs. You know, we have all these people addicted to medications in this country, and they can literally stop it just like that. But let's remember one thing about the Chinese. They got one aircraft carrier, one. We have 11. Our Navy is so powerful. People don't realize how powerful our Navy is. You could take every Navy in the world and put them together, and they still wouldn't beat the United States Navy. That's the main thing we got going for us. And why is our Navy so strong? Because there's big money in building these huge monster aircraft carriers. These aircraft carriers are like cities. I mean, you can't walk from one end to the other in one day. I mean, they're huge. Turber, yeah, easy. He hides his negative comments. He won't even mention me now. Yeah, Grant, come on, Grant. Grant, you are at the level, when it comes to you and me, we're at the same level when it comes to them. It's like you're my child. And you're not. You're just a guy in here. If you have your own opinion, that means you're hated because you have your own opinion. We're not allowed to have our own opinions. Our opinions got to be exactly what everybody else's opinions are. Everybody here has different opinions. I couldn't give two shits what anybody else's opinion is. Okay. Oh, let's put this guy up. Edward Sparocci, whatever your fucking name is. You're a liar. Okay. Tell us what we're a liar about, Edward. You got to be more direct than that. I mean, you're writing like, just let us know what it is. I'll make you a deal. You tell us what, we'll put it up. Lee, did you see talking about Angel last night? I mean, I am now thinking this guy could be mentally unstable like a killer would talk, who has bodies buried in the backyard. Hey, we have no idea who's on here. None. We know we're in the mafia genre. So you know there's got to be some whacked out people here. You know, so we can't even imagine the people that are on here sometimes in the background and the things they're doing. Just because being woke makes you feel like you're better a white person doesn't mean I lose my... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, you could say what you want about Sonny Money, but when he puts those rhymes together about wokeness, they're pretty funny. Wrong. The XFL is back and running, owned by The Rock. That it might be back and running, but nobody's watching it, Mike. Really, in fact, Amber Alert. Okay, thanks. I'll have to look at that. Okay, Marco Ritz, Angelgotti's a real mother. She is defending her family's failing honor. So you clowns should tip her your hat to her and only wish your moms were half the woman that she is. She's a hell of a woman, but she's on here too, and she's equal to us, Marco Ritz. There's no difference. So if you want to be on her good side, you just did a good job. You put that up. Chicago Muscle could seriously be mentally troubled. He has hatred and his voice is really spooky. The way he talked about Angel as some perfect being was scary. And David, I got blocked by MTR. I've never said anything negative on her chat. Marco graduated from. Yeah, Marco could say whatever he wants. You're still here, Marco. We're not like the other channels. We didn't block you and throw you out. Okay, I'm going to put the invite down. If someone wants to jump up, you're more than welcome. If you don't want to jump up, that's fine with me. What did he say? He said, I can't do a show myself. Almost 200 people in here. So, that's all she does is well, if it is a lie, you probably have a problem that she wouldn't like to do. Okay, if I just slow down, that means I'm lost. 3 shows ago, he said, okay, I wasted my time. And he said that he wasn't sure when he was coming back on. He was fuming. He made no money. Yeah, if you're on here for making money, you're in the wrong area. I mean, there's no reason to be, money's a bonus. That's how I look at money on here. If you make some money on here, it's an absolute bonus. It's like, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. But if you come on here and you get mad because you're not making no money, you really got to check yourself. Because this ain't a job. We only have 4,000 subs or 3,000 subs. We're small shows. You know when this becomes a job? This becomes a job when you get to like 100,000 subs. Then you got to do everything different. Then you got a business. Right now, we're not even considered a small business. We're coming on here. Like I get commercials on here. That's basically how I make my money. And every once in a while, I average like $20 a show, $30. I'm happy with that. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I couldn't care if I get any money. If I can go a whole show and I get, so what? Big deal. I had fun bullshitting, talking, hanging out with you guys. They did about 6 hours of advertisement for you, Lee, yesterday. Yeah, Jesse, that's pretty funny. But, it's like I said, I got to make my money some way. So I'm going to make my money through advertising. Amber Alert, I've heard empty. Okay, I don't want to. York Muscle, I was mad because I didn't get super chats. Okay. No, Lee, only about 20 friends don't like you. And the other 260 do like you. Well, thank you, York City Rehab. Oh, come on. You guys with your fucking names. I swear to God. We got to have a contest for names. Who does the best? Because a lot of people make fun of me with names, and they're really funny. But look at this face right here. I mean, that face is fucking hilarious. All you need is 20 suckers. Yeah, that's it. 20 suckers that will give you money. I can come on here, right, people? I can come on here and start telling you I need money and bullshit you and tell you stories. I can easily do it. And I could do really good making money on here but something inside me won't allow me to do it. I just don't feel right about it. Guarantee Angel will be on Helmet's channel soon because of that Rita. Yeah, let me ask you a question. Rita Giganti was on that. What do you think Chin would think about her being on that channel? Now the chin was like, he was like John Gotti. He wound up going to prison at the end, and he died in prison. So what would the chin have thought about that? I thought it was a good show. I mean, Jimmy had 500 people watching, so it was a great call by him. He did great numbers on it. And if you notice lately, Jimmy's been staying out of other people's business. He hasn't even been going into FBS's, very little. And his show's gotten better since he started concentrating on his show. His show was losing something for a while, but it seems like he got it back. I mean, that's the feeling I'm getting. I watched his show a couple times this week. I thought they were really good. And I'm not saying that because you guys know how Jimmy and I feel, but the guy he's running a good business right now. He has 22,000 viewers. He does one live a week. And he doesn't go for nearly as much money. Jimmy could put down a show every day and make 2-3 times the money he's making right now. But he doesn't. He does 1 or 2 lives. I mean, 1 or 2 videos a week, and he does 1 live. That's what he does. I did seen Jimmy Snuka 83 Steel. Well, Jimmy Snuka got away with murder. Let's always remember that about Jimmy Snuka. He took his girlfriend's head and smashed it into a guardrail on the side of the road. And she went back to the motel room, and she died. Jimmy Snuka was a very bad man. And what happened after that? Vince McMahon went into the little town in Pittsburgh, talked to the police, and for the next 20-something years, the police did not investigate it. And by the time they took that to trial, Jimmy Snuka had Alzheimer's disease. So Jimmy Snuka never paid for murdering his girlfriend. He was a very bad man, Jimmy Snuka. Maybe I'll put 80. No. Snotty, spoiled, weak, little rich kid, very snake-like, definitely play. We do got some rich kids in here that like to play gangster. No, Tony said that Andre wrestled your brother in a locker room naked. Think about that. Think about where it's coming from. Tony was 1/10 the man my brother Tom was. My brother Tom was a father. My brother Tom grew up in the streets. And he grew up in the streets of Yonkers and the Bronx. And there's lots of pictures of him when he was growing up. He did a lot of bad things when he was young, but he met a good woman. He turned his life around. He had 3 beautiful daughters, and he raised his daughters. He lived in $1 million house that he bought out of his own pocket. And he lived in Hopewell Junction. And then when my brother hung himself, he had a tumor in the lobe of his brain. He was a dying man. He was going to die no matter what. And no one knows whether he knew he had that tumor or not. But I always remember my brother telling me that he always said that Robin Williams, if he was ever going to kill himself, would be like Robin Williams did it. And that's exactly how he killed himself. People can say whatever they want, but think about where it's coming from. It's Tony talking about my brother, who his daughters, when my brother hung himself, the police showed up. And his daughters were out in the front yard. And the policeman said to me it was one of the worst scenes he ever seen. Because the daughters were in the front yard screaming and crying. And it was a horrible, horrible scene. So if a dirtbag like that's going to say something about my brother, who was a good man, worked hard his whole life. He was a bodyguard in New York. He made $100,000 a year. And he lived a very good life. No education, came off the street. That is a real man. I'm 1/10 the man my brother was. So anybody could talk about him, but they can't compare to him. And his daughters all love him very much. And that's that. If you put Tom Cole and WWE in Google, you'll see everything you need to know about my brother. Hundreds and hundreds of articles written on my brother. My brother has a book coming out with Vince McMahon in it. Him and Vince McMahon are in the book. Simon Schuster has published it. A great writer has written it. So say what you want. But these people are nothing compared to my brother, who was a hell of a man. It must be nice to have all your bills subsidized. There's no such thing as a subsidized electric bill. There's no such thing as a subsidized cable bill. I pay regular rent. And I have a job. That's, see, Federal Hill Bill. You're one of those losers from, what's his name's channel. It's like I said. That's what people say. They can say whatever they want. You can't stop people from what they're going to say. And then people say, Lee, you're supposed to apologize. But this fucker's over there saying this all the time. Does anybody think that that man would say shit to anybody's face? Angel S., you're a lonely crackpot. Angel, why? You're on these channels all the time. I'm sorry, Angela. You're on these channels all the time. You're in everybody's show every day. Do you have a life? All day, this is what you do. Is this the only thing you have? I like John Gotti Sr., his story. I don't care what foods he liked or what his favorite color was. I want to hear who he murdered and stole. Yeah, the guy had one of the best crews ever. His crew was very loyal to him. None of them turned on him. Oh, one of them testified, but he got killed. Willie Boy Johnson. But Willie Boy Johnson was a killer too. There's no doubt. The people around John Gotti were amazing. Is this John Wolf's brother? They got the same teeth. Hey, I wish I had John Wolf's teeth. I mean, he has some big teeth. FPS met Shanna at a rehab. Well, we don't know whether she was a junkie, Joey. Okay. I'm not going to get into that. The FBS crew is a hateful bunch of cowards. They're brainwashed to think everyone else is evil, and FBS is a good guy. And there's some of them in here now. They run over here, people. See, you guys cannot run over there. You know why you guys can't run over there? Because you're all blocked. See, you guys that are here right now that are his people, you're here because we don't block you. You're welcome. You could say we're not too sensitive. We're not going to cry. I grew up working on surface mines. I ran rock pits for 12 years. Hardest, yeah. Oh, you're not joking, Redzilla. Hardest thing I ever did was putting floors in Florida, especially when you're working in those. They're building brand new houses and you're doing floors, and it's 100 degrees out with humidity. That is some hard ass work, floor work. Statistically, FPS Shanna don't stand a chance in their. Oh, we know this, but let's only wish them the best. Lee, do you think? No, I don't think Putin will start World War III. I think Joe Biden will start World War III. Why would Putin has no reason to start World War III? What Putin's saying is, it's mind your own business. That's what Putin's saying in the United States. You know, why can't somebody else fight that war? Why do we have to fight the war? How many men did we lose in Afghanistan? How many men did we lose in Iraq? And for what? The minute that we went in there after 9/11 happened and we wiped them out, we should have left. And that would have meant we won. But nope, we had to stay. Why did we stay? Because of weapons. That's why we stayed. Dick Cheney. Now, you want some evil people. Dick Cheney and his daughter, those are some evil people right there. Mrs. FBS worked at a rehab clinic. She wasn't a patient. Yeah, she wasn't. You're right. Thank you for that. I never seen Nadamovich, but I'm sure you're from FBS's chat. Welcome. FBS would kick China to the curb if Angel Wanagati would. Okay, Nitro owns a lumberjack, ginger toes, drinks beers, and cuts down trees. Magamud, Laurie, Biden not clever enough to go up against. No, Biden's not clever enough to go to the toilet. Biden doesn't know what's going on. It's very sad what they're doing to that man. That man does not even know where he is. It's a shame what they're doing to him. He should be in a nursing home, or he should be home being taken care of. And just think that they're like making him go up on stage and make an absolute fool out of himself is the saddest thing ever. Everything that people say, oh, do you believe what Joe Biden did? No, Joe Biden did nothing. Joe Biden doesn't even know what he's doing. You think Joe Biden remembers one day to the next? No. The people behind him are the ones that are putting him out there. His wife should be ashamed of herself for taking him out on stage. The man's 80 years old. Look what they're doing to him. Listen to the people like FBS and you'll work in factories for the rest of your life. FBI, oh, come on, you guys with the anti-FBS rhetoric. Joy Electric, that's an insult, factory workers. Okay. Third Bird, Grant Calder, I'm ready to start unleashing both barrels on them. I got to catch up. So I'm going to move some of these and go down. I'm going to look for some. I am not going to sit back while everybody slags me off. Well, neither am I. You talk about mafia stuff, but you didn't know that Joe Bonanno is considered the biggest rat in history, especially because the book he published, laugh out loud. Slug, let me ask you a question. Would you tell Joe Bonanno to his face he was a rat? And this is years later because of the book he wrote. Actually, you know, who am I to say Joe Bonanno was a rat? Especially when you have all these rats running around now. So Joe Bonanno was a rat. Does that make all these other people rats that we protect and say they're not rats? I'm not going to mention no names. So Slug, why don't you come out and say they're rats too? Does anybody that does a 302, are they all rats? So Joe Bonanno never did a 302. So what do you think? See, this is the thing, people. People choose who they want to call rats. If you're going to call people rats, you got to treat them all the same. If you did a 302, you're a rat. That's how people think. I'm not saying it's true, but let's treat all the rats the same. That's what it comes down to. Angel is mad for what was said about her son. Have some compassion. I didn't say nothing about her son. Never. That's Gene. Did you also? Well, I'm not going to get into that. He seemed like a good kid, her son. So you won't see me saying anything about her son. That's all I could say. I wonder what her father would think about her friends. That's a good question. When the USSR fell, the West signed an agreement with them that they would expand NATO forces near the Russian borders. Today, Russia is surrounded by NATO forces. Yes, they are. Great point, Don Vito. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Marco. I just answered it, but I agree with you. There's a few fake angels around here. Her family are good people. Okay. Well, I'm not going to touch that one. I have mental issues myself. Chicago Muscle currently cutting his next promo. Watch you don't spit your false teeth out. Cheesy love muscle. Okay, honestly, guys, Angel sees what we see when she looks at FBS. Total druggie, loser, atheist, no morals, that uses his dim-witted. Wow, wrong number. I don't know if I could have put that any better. Yeah, true. I think Angel has some. Okay, I'm not going to touch that, guys. Yeah, you never hear anything about Victoria. She stays out of the limelight. You got to give that woman a lot of credit. Just because a person is pretending to shouldn't warrant censorship. Yep. No one censored her. Have you guys blocked anybody? Because I haven't blocked anybody, people. Don't block nobody. I don't see anybody in here right now that should be blocked. Let them say whatever they want. If they want to call me names, let them call me names. I'll beat the F out of these pussies or troll them to insanity either way. I don't give a fuck. Well, yeah. Well, you got a picture of Charles Manson, dude. You know, so you've had that picture for a while. Don Vito, have any of you guys started watching Gomorrah? I'm telling you, you really should. If you had not started watching Gomorrah, you really should. It's a great series, and if you don't want to read the subtitles, you can go on and you could dub it. You could dub it where they look like Clint Eastwood doing a spaghetti western, but they're speaking English. I did that in season 4 and 5. I watched the first 3 seasons with the subtitles. Lee can apologize to Angel, but it won't do any good if she doesn't have like his narrative when it's back to fighting again. Laugh out loud, childish. P-Town, you're absolutely right. It doesn't matter if I apologize. And what do I apologize for? I apologized already. There's not going to be any more apologies from me. None. Because tonight, what will they be doing? You know exactly what they're going to be doing tonight. One will hit me, then the next one will come on and hit me. So I might as well get my bullshit out of the way before they do. Granted, something's mentally wrong with Chicago Muscle. He literally works. Okay, I'm going to catch up here. We're at 2:58. I'm a half hour behind. Well, you guys can leave a lot of messages in here. We're at 175 right now. We've been near 200 for quite a while. Is somebody else on right now, people? Okay, Darren, I'm no fan of Jimmy for personal reasons going back to the 80s, but Rita Giannotti was great, but he can't interview people. Too busy looking in his chats. I didn't. He had a lot of people. He had a lot of people in his chat that day. I mean, he had 500 people watching that interview, so people were interested. She seems like a nice gal, but she's a psychic medium, so I'm guessing she's a charlatan with her props. I know who you're talking about. You're right. Adam Caden, is he even here? He is on and off with banning me right now. I'm still banned for fighting with Mikey. Marky, brother, I've seen what it did to a cousin of mine. I see the same thing with Eyelight. I personally like the dude, but I see the same shit. They over-exaggerate. He has not looked good lately, Marky Mark. He has not looked good at all. The things he's doing and the things he's saying just does not look good. Personally, I think Grant Calder is an asshole, but that was a real con job they tried to pull on him when they still watched FBS after his whole video trivialized. Yeah, exactly. That's what they did. People don't say nothing about that, do they? Dude, they hate me so much that they had to show me getting raped in the woods. Think about that. Can you imagine? They pretend like I don't matter, but I get to them so bad. It's kind of pathetic that one grown man triggers another grown man. Like, he'll deny it, but there's no doubt that I triggered him. And it's easy to trigger him. It's like a game. It's easy and it's fun. Yeah, that's true, Grant. It's so petty, isn't it? The truth we have to hear that everyone does block. Yeah, if blocking is stupid, we really shouldn't be blocking nobody unless we really have to. Yeah, let people talk. If Chicago Muscle comes in here and goes overboard, you block him. If he comes in here and he doesn't go overboard, maybe he could be saved. Who knows? Anthony, how you doing? Grant Calder is a true kid, touchy subject. I don't want to jump into that, but yeah, BSOD was served. He made a joke out of our word. The entire video was making him weird references. He's a weird dude. Definitely a weird dude. Ramondi, apparently Ghostbusters have no integrity either. I made a joke and he was made to feel like he was devil. No seems. Grant, thank you, Grant. You always write a lot. Lee Cole Butthole. Lee Cole, you are like YouTube's version of Honey Boo Boo. Hey, I like Honey Boo Boo, okay? Honey Boo Boo's like one of the most abused children on TV. So are you saying I'm abused? But you see, Lee Cole's Butthole, we even put you on here. We let you say, can you imagine if you went and said FBS's butthole and you went over there? You wouldn't even get, the wrench whore would stop you before you said one word. But here, you're welcome, butthole. Just the thought of Lee Cole's butthole. Ugh. Joey Pep, Grant, like I said, I don't like you at all, but I could see the con job that was attempted. Why don't you like him at all, Joey Pep? What has he done to you? Okay, we're almost here at the bottom. I want to get toward the end here so I can read some of these before I take off. Let's see. We got apologize and never erase the intent of what was said. It simply means they shouldn't have said it, but they feel it. So why, brother? Alan Bull. I don't feel like I have anything to apologize for at all. Think about some of the things that have been done on here by people. Who really needs to apologize? I mean, some of the things said on here have been horrible. Absolutely horrible stuff. Turber, we actually gave him a sedative. I was to witness my cousin to Jesus. Okay, well, I don't know where you're going with that one, my man. Lee, go after Junior. He connected to Elite's bullshit existence. Just seems like gang up on the most docile out of the god. He seems bullying. Just my thought. Listen, I've gone after A-Light. I've done a show on John Jr.'s 302s. It's in my library. So Sammy Gavano goes after him all the time. They go after Sammy Gavano. But here's the question. Sammy Gavano ratted on John Gotti Sr. What would you guys have done if you heard the tape? Would you have ratted? That's the question. You got to remember, he did go to prison for 19 years without ratting when his children got busted with him dealing drugs. So he proved that he can go to prison without ratting. It's an interesting thing there. Why did he go to prison without ratting if he's such a rat? Maybe they wouldn't have wanted it anything. When he was dealing drugs, he was the big guy. There was nobody he could rat on, maybe? I can't answer that question. I don't know. I don't have a dog in the race. I like drama. Just pick up someone who's going to fight back. One-sided fight makes you look silly like a bully. Yep. Listen, if you go after FBS, if you go after Angel Gotti or anybody on this genre, or most of them, they will fight back. I wonder what HA's would think of Chicago Muscle's choice in siding with the rat sympathizers. Allight never revealed his evidence on the side to Emery. No, Allight has no evidence. People, he has no evidence. He literally humiliated himself that night. And there's been a lot of things he's been saying that just does not add up. That's the reality of it. Lee, did you know Elliot from the WWF in the 80s? He had frizzy hair. He used to take their jackets when I got into the ring. They all hide cheesy. Love them. Okay. We know where you're going on that. Okay. Lee, did you see Gunsmoke and FBS say you attack pot smokers, but not kidnappers? So, who's a kidnapper? That's what I would say. Who is a kidnapper? Do I have any charges for kidnapping? You guys can easily pull my criminal record. Do I have any charges for hurting a woman? Do I have any charges for domestic abuse? Do I have any charges for child abuse? Nope. Did I get arrested for it originally with the woman in my life who stayed with me for the next 10 years? Yes. But she stayed with me for another 10 years. And if anybody knows the whole deal, read the newspaper articles. It says at the end that she was part of my life and it was no kidnapping involved. Just that simple. Just read the story, Jack Jones. And then they'll say that Lee's never been to jail. He's never been arrested. But if you look at that story, they show me I'm surrounded by cops and I'm being, my hands are cuffed behind my back and I'm being led across. The SWAT was there. Everybody was there. And even the reporters were there. But it had nothing to do with kidnapping in the end. Because it was the person in my life that lived with me for the next 10 years. That's the fact, Jack. That's the fact, Jack. I was blocked on here for months, but thanks to The Truth, I was highlighted on Here I Am. All about respect. David, there's no reason to block you when you speak the way you are. You're not being disrespectful, David. You're entitled to your opinion. If you want to call me an asshole, whatever, you're entitled to that opinion. As long as you don't call someone in my family an asshole. Who has child abuse or domestic abuse? Gunsmoke? Who knows? Do you know his real name? People hide their names. They usually hide their names for a reason. We don't know why they're hiding their names. When I took this show, people, I called myself Lee Cole 3. That's my name. So if I'm guilty of all these things, why would I put out my whole name? Am I a criminal? Yes, I did lots of crimes in my life. There's no doubt. Did I do time in prison? Yes, I did. Did I straighten out my life? Yes, I did. Do I have 3 children? How many of them love me right now? 2 of them. The third one and I are fighting right now. But that's part of being a father or being a mother. We fight with our children. It's normal. Lee, if it's said on YouTube, it's gospel. Exactly. If you hit it right on the button. 50% of the shit that's said on here is not true. Sounds like they tried to pin that on you just to strengthen their case. What they did on the kidnapping charges, they wanted to get me on other charges. So when they took me down and they arrested me that day, They literally said to me, "We know you're not guilty of this, but we're not going to drop it unless you take a felony on this." That's what they do. They use police, they set you up, and then to get a good charge, they always want a felony. Remember that. Whenever you get busted, they always want a felony because felonies make district attorneys look good. So I would have stayed in prison fighting that charge. And I would have eventually been found innocent, but I could have sat in prison for the next 2 years. So they dropped it once I made a deal with them. And that's just how district attorneys work. Anybody in here knows that. I'm sure some of you guys have dealt with district attorneys. That's what they do. They always threaten you with charges, and in the end, they'll sit down with your lawyers and they'll negotiate. That's why, I defended myself because I was in a small town, a shithole town that didn't really have any type of lawyers. Okay, thanks. I hear Alan Bew, however, sometimes we cross the nearest one and can't spit ourselves. Okay. I'm sorry, mate. I just remembered asking D Truth. It's not surprising. MB is a treasure. MB's notices she's not here today. She's on vacation. A lot of people love to hear that. Yeah, David, that day you told me if I was blocking the comments. You're not blocked no more. I don't think anybody's been blocked today, people. I'm going to check after this show's over. David, you went from being banned here to being banned on FBS and unbanned here. Hey, that's the funny thing. If you come on this show and if he knows about it, he'll ban you on his show. Think about that. That's like so ridiculous. They said you look like Porky Pig if you got a job on the SWAT team. That is childish for them to say that. But Jack Jones, you're saying it just to say it. I look like Porky Pig. Do you think that hurts my feelings? Not at all. We got your back, David Cameron. You don't have to agree. We just have to act like men. Yep. David, you're part of this chat for as long as you want to be. You've been very respectful. You give your opinion. We may not agree with them, but you're here. More felony ADAs make more monies they make once they leave in the DA's office. Yes, they love to get you on that felony, and they'll do anything they can to get you on the felony, even if it's lies. And when I was charged with that, do you know the newspaper, they did an article once I was released from jail, and they took that back. I called them up and I asked them, and they took it back because they knew, the newspaper knew that it didn't happen. And both newspapers wrote that it didn't happen, that person was in my life. I spent 3 days walking around with the person in a casino holding her hand. But they had all that evidence. But I had to give them that evidence in order for them to use it, even though they had it. Hit you with 20 charges and only a misdemeanor sticks. Go fishing for conviction. Okay, let's see. We're going to do a couple more here. We've been on quite a while. You know what, guys? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to say I enjoyed the show today. And I'm sure you noticed I've been doing a lot more lives. So the other shows tonight should be entertaining. I gave them something they needed content. Now I gave them content. But I'm going to tell these shows something else. If you come after me, I'm not going to just sit back like a little bitch. And for people to say, oh, the drama, you're not here being attacked. I had another content maker this morning sending out emails lying to people about me, saying that I was detoxing from drugs. the lying little scumbag. But I won't mention his name. And the person that I talked to about this was mad because he knew this guy was lying. But that's what they do. Gene Barillo is 5 times the person Angel and FPS have been lately. Hey, Gene Barillo is working. He's trying to get his shit together. He's the one that might go back to prison. It's not like he's not. He's the one that is going to be called a rat for the rest of his life. We are literally talking about keyboard warriors attack, not real physical attacks. Forget the haters, focus on you and your growth. You know, I had a great show today. I was up near 200 for like an hour. We're down to 145 right now. This video is going to get 2,000 to 3,000 views. So people know what they want to hear. And I got 2 interviews. I got 1 interview done. We're working on the second one today. So we have 2 interviews lined up, and we'll be doing other shows. I'm not going to really talk about this subject again. Let them attack me today, and they'll do that. I'm just going to turn it off and go watch TV. I don't care what anybody says today. And then tomorrow, we're going to come back and we're going to do a mafia show. There's not going to be any more going. They can say whatever they want to say tonight. So that's it. Let them embarrass themselves. I don't care what the guy says. I don't care what he says. Because he'll go like this. I'm going to decimate him. You guys know I decimate better than anybody. It's easy to decimate people when you're just sitting there by yourself, going after them and saying shit. Anybody could do that. It's not a gift. It's easy. Good stick to the genre, please. F the losers. You're right, Darren. I said what I had to say today. That's it. People, take care. Thank you all for being here so much. I really appreciate it. And like the video if you haven't. I really appreciate it. We put up some more material on the blog. Please go check out the blog. And we're putting up a couple more interesting people on the blogs. If you want to read real blogs about real gangsters, go over to the blogs. Go to mobtubers.com and you'll see blog. Hit the blogs. Go in, read them. They're really good. Okay, everybody, take care. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate everybody that's been here. Make sure you vote. Right? You know, I don't know if you guys like the early vote here in Texas. We're early voting. But everybody take care. Bye.